So, yeah, today Kieran suggested we have a little chat about UK laws, so we may as well just go straight into the weird and strange, shitty laws that we've got.
Yeah.
You kick us off, Kieran, because you've got the best ones.
Well, as we started, we've got like a whole list.
Yeah, so we started off on the e-scooter one because that's like the most modern and relevant.
Yeah.
So do you want me to read it out and
you
can put in your 50p?
Yeah, I'll give me a rebuttal.
Aye. So, privately owned e-scooters must be insured and only driven on private land by people who have a licence, and rented e-scooters that are available to members of the public have to be used in approved regions and specified boroughs. So, what's your thoughts, mate?
Well, it's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? Because I think you're allowed to ride an electric bike, but it has to be assisted, doesn't it? Like assisted pedals. But as soon as you've got a motor and a button just a whiz, it means that it's classed as an actual vehicle, so you need a license and insurance on it. So then that means you can't just go to the shops, can you, to actually go on one, which is ridiculous. And they're a lot cheaper than buying a car. Man, if I could, I saw a video on YouTube of a guy going about like 50, maybe about 60 miles per hour on an electric scooter, like near the M road. And yeah, that's a bit over the top, but with an actual electric scooter, if you just want to whiz from place to place or A to B, whatever, then it's like so much more easier. But considering it's become more and more legal, I remember seeing when I first started going to work on one, going to work, I saw people bringing on the electric scooters, and now they're completely banned. So even if you were trying to sell one to go onto like private property or whatever, you'd have to send it in the post and bits, wouldn't you?
Exactly, yeah.
But I don't know, I think it's shit. Like electric scooters are sick, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know, I don't know, it's so strange because, obviously, my boyfriend fucked off his elbow and broke it all. And seriously injured himself on one. But the one he had went, ridiculously fast, and it was a freak accident, and he's never had one before then. He's never had one since, and he uses it quite regularly. But he doesn't even use it on roads or pavements most of the time. He uses it in the bloody woods and stuff when we walk the dogs. Doesn't want to burn calories.
Off-road tyres on.
He literally doesn't want to burn calories while he walks. So he uses his e-scooter and he likes doing little tricks and stuff.
Yeah, but it's technically illegal though, which is a very odd law. And I know it's not like you're gonna get sent to prison or anything, but you can have it taken off you and you can get fined for it.
Well, when we went to the Don White in D&B on a bike in Birmingham a couple of years ago, I'm reminisced. B had gone on his e-scooter and he got sick footage because he could weave in and out all the bikes.
Yeah.
And obviously the banks didn't matter because he's on a motor. He doesn't need push pedals or push off the ground with his feet.
Yeah.
And it was really good, but people turned up on all sorts of vehicles, and everybody thought the police were helping and sort of there to assist everyone because of literally must have been about 1,000 people at least at this event.
Yeah.
And turns out they were just waiting for illegal vehicles, if you can even class sort of bikes and scooters as vehicles, and they were confiscating them.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Mental. Obviously B was fine, but
merged in the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. But some people got theirs taken off him, which is such a shame just for having a bit of fun, and they're clearly not going over the speed limit because they're in this big sort of congregation, this moving crowd, basically.
Yeah.
So it's not like anyone was doing anything dodgy or dangerous, and anything that they could say is dodgy or dangerous, everybody was doing it on a normal push bike or a normal scooter or a normal skateboard.
Yeah, it's more common. Yeah. But so I don't know, what do you think about electric scooters? Do you think it should just be used for private land, or what's the regulations that should be put onto it? What do you think?
Well, the thing is, so when I used to work for the council on the comms team, I remember a new law came in with bikes, and the law was, instead of cyclists sort of edging towards the pavement but on the road still, they should ride in the middle of the road, so it's much harder for cars to knock them over. But I think on an e-scooter you should do that, because what's going to happen? The only reason Benito had his accident is because he was very close to a curb and he nearly got hit by a car, so he had to bail off the scooter so he didn't get hit by a car. But if he was in the middle of the road, it would have been more obvious.
I don't know, being in the middle of the road, that's scary enough. Like, even when I'm riding my bike, like to and from places, I try to stick to the pavement as much as possible. And even that's considered illegal in a fashion. But like, I don't know, I don't like riding. If you haven't got a vehicle and you're not protected and stuff like that, which is the reason I'll never own a motorbike, is because it's too vulnerable. I prefer to be on somewhere where I can control, but I understand like the motorized vehicle, whatever you want to call it, and then you can be a danger to the public, whatever. But the convenience of an electric scooter is amazing. Like, it's so much better.
Yeah, it's biased really, because you get like senile coughing dodgers and fatty bombattis on the mobility scooters, and no one says boo to a goose about them being on
but I think there's a cap on the speed though, isn't it? I think it was like
Depends.
6 miles per hour or something like that. There's
Mate, they're not going at 6 miles per hour, they're going as quick as they can. People absolutely bolt around on them.
Yeah.
They do that, don't they?
Well, yeah, you can do. Yeah, I guess you can rig it a little bit, but I don't know. In my opinion, I think electric scooters should be. I think like it should just be the same as how you use bicycles, whether you can go really fast on it or not. Like, yeah, it's that grey area of going onto a pavement, but I think it should be completely legal to be in a public place on an electric scooter and be able to drive it around and stuff like that, because you just go around it easier. I know it's because people have had accidents and things like that, but isn't there did you read on there about that you allowed it in certain areas and it has to be rented? So So
it's just like they want to make money off it.
Like monetize off it.
And technically, wouldn't a rented one be privately owned by a corporation anyway? It's not really public. It's not like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. Well, nothing's free for public, really, is it?
Not even water.
Yeah, it's not like a park bench or something.
Yeah.
Although you have to, people pay for a plaque on that, so again, nothing's really free.
Or maintenance.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe the best thing to do, I don't know about having a licence, because you don't need a licence to ride a bike, so it's a bit biased and unfair, but maybe you have to be 17 like you would be to drive a car, so you don't need a licence, but there is an age limit, so that kids who haven't got as quick reaction time.
Well, that's the same with like vapes and stuff like that. Though they're only trying to put more limits on vapes, for example, because it's more appealing to children and more kids are doing it.
Yeah, it's sort of marketed at kids in a way.
Yeah, but you could say that about like you'd say about anything that seems appealing. Like it's
the sweets though, isn't it? Making them sweet.
Yeah,
flavored.
but that's what makes them better in general. Who wants to just be having tobacco flavoured?
But that's the thing, isn't it?
Couldn't you say that for like Ciroc, or couldn't you say that for example like sours and stuff like that? Like, oh, shall we ban any flavoured alcohol? Do you know what I mean? Like
I know what you're saying.
Just because it's aimed or just because it's being used by, it should just be regulated more in the sense like monitored. It shouldn't, like, maybe a license then. Maybe you should have a license, but I don't think it should be banned from public places. If that was the compromise, then I'd say that's fair enough.
Yeah, I agree. Again, I don't even know about the license necessarily, but definitely an age limit. But they should be allowed in public places, because they're no more dangerous than a bike, really. And the amount of cyclists and, are they called motorcyclists or just bikers? I just call them bikers, because that's what I call them. Cyclists and bikers, they have a licence, and I guess. Well, no, cyclists, no one needs it's only bikers who need a licence.
Yeah.
So maybe you could class it like a biker.
Maybe it's like a one step down from it sort of thing, like you just have to pass it at an easy course or something like that.
How old do you have to be to drive a tractor though? Isn't that quite young, like 12 or something?
I'll
Google it.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you can drive a tractor from young.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I will tell you now.
How
Age
old?
for driving tractor UK.
What, even on the road? Was it?
16.
So, how old do you have to be to drive a car again?
But you have to be 17 on the road, actually. So I'm
Oh,
wrong. I think I
okay.
just know some. But then again, it says here, no child under 13 may drive or ride on tractors and other self-propelled machines used in agriculture. I thought it was young.
Yeah.
So maybe if it's on the farm, 13 and over,
Yeah,
but on the
yeah.
road, 17 and over. Or maybe my farmer friends were just...
So what's next on the
illegally
list
doing it.
then, Yaz? That's the next stupid one.
The next one, so fucking reminded me a bit of Mary Poppins, this one, but you're not allowed to fly a kite in public according to the Met Police Act from the 1800s because it'll apparently prevent nuisances and danger. Don't hit me with the paper cut.
Don't hit me with the paper cut, no. But you could buy kites. So can you still buy kites?
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait. I'm trying to think. Have I ever seen a kite in a public shop? I don't know.
When you go to Wales and places, people go to like the Great Orme in Wales.
Yeah,
and
but they
fly
sell
them.
bloody like fucking willy fucking
That's
lollies.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember seeing this joke that someone put. It's like living in Wales. Oh, I'm just popping down the shop. Oh, can you get me one of those lollies with the willies on? Oh, what about the kilt? You can show the bum off. Can you get me one of them as well? Go tangent a bit there, but yeah, there's different laws on seaside towns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember, I have when I was younger in Leeds, flown a kite. What did you say? You've flown a kite. Flew a kite.
Okay.
I only know it in present tense, fly a kite. I don't know if it's flown, flew. I think it's flown. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But whatever it is, I had a kite in the air when I was a kid in Leeds. So obviously got family over there. So yeah, I think that's a stupid law. And I'm not being funny. How is flying a kite a nuisance? But there's no actual laws surrounding like flying drones.
I think there's technicalities with it. Like you have to get permission on land and stuff like that. Well, permission from people 50 meters away from a person.
Yeah, didn't you say? Yeah, you said about over a crowd.
Yeah.
But like, if you think of event organisers who have festivals or fireworks displays and big spectacular events, they always hire drone people.
Yeah, but I think it's because it's already part of it, so everyone agrees when buying the ticket, I think. But it's weird how in technicality it's more illegal to fly a kite than it is a drone. But that's so if you have a camera on a kite, that's illegal. But if you have a camera on a propeller, then that's more accepted, yeah, which is a weird one.
Weird, and also obviously the law is you can film whatever you want in a public place because it's public. So I don't know why they're trying to change that around drones. Really.
Maybe it's because when it falls, I think, but it's a technicality, I think. Yeah.
Falls. Think of all the tree branches and stuff that fall.
Yeah, but let's say for example, like a drone's flying over.
That weighs what, like less than a kilo.
Yeah, well, if you
and then
drop
you got
a penny on
branch.
someone, I guess I'd.
Yeah, from a plane or something.
How big can it hit? I don't know.
How big can it hit?
well, the height. Like, how high do you have to drop a penny till it hits?
I'd say from a plane.
From a plane? So if I dropped a penny from a 2-story...
Yeah, but if I chucked a penny from you a metre away, it'd hurt a bit.
Well, no, yeah,
that's fatal.
Google it. How high does a penny have to be till it can cause...
How high does a penny drop?
Till it causes damage, yeah.
Okay. How high can a penny drop before it causes damage. I feel like I have to put more specific things like altitude in, or it might not. Yeah, it's to kill a person on the ground. It just says the velocity. Oh, well, it doesn't say. No one seems to have done anything about the stuff like about the Empire State Building.
Let's say if you dropped a...
Throwing a penny off the Empire State Building is unlikely to cause fatal harm due to the penny's light weight and air resistance. Right, well, can any drone be flown as high as the Empire State Building?
Not really.
You lose connection, won't it?
Yeah.
So it's not going to kill anyone,
yeah,
so...
I guess so.
Shit excuse!
yeah, but it's not that... It's more legal to fly a kite anyway, but yeah, I was just making the point.
yeah. And that's not going to hurt anyone if it drops on their head. You'd be lucky for it to drop, because it just... Yeah, so...
Well, then it should be illegal to kick a ball, because I've been hit in the face multiple times with a football.
Mate, in our school.
I remember
Just scurry across the fucking playground just so you don't get battered by the football.
I remember one time I booted a football and right in this guy's face and his nose was bleeding all down, gushing of blood. But that I did have some velocity. That'd probably be the same for a penny at someone's head. So, yeah. What's on the next list then? What's another weird one?
It's illegal to be drunk in a pub or in any public space under the 1872 Licensing Act.
If I remember correctly, it's an excuse for any disorderly behaviour, I think it is. So if that's the case, it just gives the police, if you are acting disorderly and you are drunk, then that means that in any fashion, if you're just rude or whatever, if you're drunk, then that means they can class it as a crime, isn't it? So you have to be on even more of your best behaviour when you're drunk, technically. So you can be drunk, but if they could have any excuse to arrest you if you are.
Why sell alcohol if you can't get drunk?
Yeah, but I think...
And it's more fun in public and in a pub and stuff, isn't it? You're not going to be like, oh, you know what'll be great? Just getting pissed on my own at home. I can do what I want then.
Yeah, a few tinnies. Watching Netflix.
You just go to bed. You literally watch TV and go bed. Pointless drinking, you can do that sober. A waste of money and liver, that would be.
Hey, it's fun, that.
Can be fun, but you probably had more fun doing it in a public space.
But I think it's just an excuse not an excuse, or just more of a permission for police to arrest you if you are drunk. Because if you're being slightly rude, then they can be like, whatever. But then if you're drunk and rude, then I think that's how they can arrest you, if I understand that correctly. Yeah.
Another stupid...
It's a technicality, it's an excuse to arrest you, that's all it is.
It's probably because people had nothing better to do than get pissed back in day. Back in 1872.
1872.
Yeah, 150 years ago. Over 150 years ago. Yeah, it's probably just that. But I don't know, maybe they had really strong booze, probably wasn't regulated the same.
Possibly.
Moonshine.
So what's the next one then, Yaz?
So this one, there's grey areas around this one, Kieran.
Okay.
Grey areas. And there's a bit of reading here.
Wait, go on.
I'll go for it. So there's no public hunting land. Sorry, read that wrong. Fuck that one up straight away. There is no public hunting because on land that is permitted. I've defo add a typo when I put this on the notes. But anyway, I'll carry on. So you can only hunt on private land with written permission from the owner of that land. So you can't really live on the fat of the land unless you have a fat piece of land, as you put it well earlier. And you must only shoot hares and rabbits using the correct firearms. And I know you mentioned
your pheasants.
Pheasants. And didn't you say they changed the law? Or I think you mentioned it in another podcast as well with foxes. Because didn't you say they changed it?
Oh no, they always try to They always try to make it legal to hunt foxes.
Reverse the fox cull.
Yeah. Like every 4 years they try to bring it back in, but it never works. Well, it does for a little bit, and then.
Got a border collie. I wouldn't do that. She looks like a black and white little fox.
She'd probably hunt foxes if she was allowed.
I think she's too much of a pussy. She's
Yeah.
scared of fucking sheep and cows. She's supposed to do them. It's Suki who chases the bloody foxes. I remember once she was foxing one. She was foxing one. She was chasing one. She was right on its tail, and I was like, Suki, get in now! And then she did.
Yeah, but what's the best of you say then? What
So this is what I really do. So you know me, love animals. I could never hunt. Spoke in the last podcast about fishing. How guilty I felt over that, even though I chucked it back.
Yeah.
And so apparently you can kill an animal as long as you own it and it's on your land and you do it humanely, and only immediate family members can eat it. And there's no law that explicitly bans eating dog or cat meat in the UK.
Yeah, get your £600 worth of meat in it.
Mate, tapped, imagine. Well, Charlie's 14 now. His time's up. I booked him in the vets. Would you like us to come make that for you, sir?
No, barbecue at
home.
No,
fam, I've got a spit roast back at home. Me and the family can't wait. We've been waiting 14 years for this. No. Imagine how devastated you'd be if you're invited for a barbecue around your mum and dad's or your two uncles, and you're like, where's the dog? He's there on the barbie. You're there like, I thought that was a hog roast. I thought that was a lamb. I didn't know it was a fucking Charlie.
Yeah.
Or imagine a cat. That'd be even worse because it's so small. You'd be like, having rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's our Moggy.
That's our Moggy.
Who's next door's Moggy? I'm fucking sick of it. It was on my land and I paid for it.
Well, it's a grey area, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a grey area. I couldn't even eat my dogs in the apocalypse, even if they died still in proper burial or a proper cremation. I couldn't do it. No way, I couldn't do it.
Hey, I'll try everything once, I'm just saying.
I don't know, even in another country I couldn't do it. I remember one of my friends went to Ghana and they were told, like, you know, you have to respect cultures when you go abroad, and they do eat dog over there.
Yeah.
My friend, one of them who was going, because there was a few, she hated dogs, absolutely hated it, and she was like, can't wait, get my own back on fucking evil dogs who can't bite me.
Fuck?
I know, but my old dog Misty changed the whole perspective on dogs, which was nice. Yeah. But at the time, she was like, yeah, I can't fucking wait. Probably less fucking, because I didn't swear as much back then.
Okay.
I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Next one. It's illegal.
Wait, hold up a sec. So did she eat a dog then or not?
I've never asked.
I thought that's
but
what you...
probably. She wouldn't really know if the locals were cooking the tea, would she? You just eat it, don't you? You're hungry.
Yeah, but...
I think she had to kill and cook a chicken or a cockerel or something. I feel like I've either had a messed up dream or that is a true memory that she told me that she did that.
Okay.
And you know what? I couldn't have done it if I was in Ghana. Thank God they shipped me off to Thailand.
I'll try it from once, whatever. Well, most things
I can't... If it was law, going back to... well, I guess we haven't actually moved on from it yet, but with the hunting thing, if it was law that you either had to hunt for your food, for your meat, or you had to rear your own animals, kill it and eat it, cook it, eat it yourself, you couldn't buy meat from a supermarket, I would be vegetarian. I could milk an animal after it's had a baby, and I would have to stockpile their milk, because I wouldn't want to, like, I do drink milk. Drink oat milk and coffee. I drink cow's milk and tea. That's taste preference.
Okay.
But I couldn't do what obviously dairy farmers do, because cows only produce milk when they've had a baby, so once the baby doesn't need the milk anymore.
Only viable for like 4 years on average or something.
I think so. Then they get off with the chop.
Yeah.
But I couldn't take a baby away and then keep it milking it, because I just think that's so cruel, and tits must be so sore, and obviously they can't tell you, can they?
No.
And farmers probably wouldn't care anyway, It's income at the end of the day. They're completely, conditioned, because most farmers, it's like they've inherited. Yeah, it's a generational career path, isn't it? So you condition to it, so you don't think about the poor cow, or its tits are sore. You don't think about udders, whatever. Still tits, aren't they? They're just cow boobies.
Cow boobies.
So I think I could do it whilst it was feeding the baby. Then when the baby didn't need the milk anymore, I'll be like, right, this is my last dose, and I freeze it all, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I would be vegetarian, and obviously I'm eating chicken eggs. I'm not having any male animals to seminate. Is that
well, if you need more chickens, you gotta have a rooster there.
I'll just buy another one. They're not good.
No, then that's not the point of you having the chickens anyway. So you can have more chickens and more eggs.
I'd just borrow someone else's mail for a bit and not eat any eggs around those times.
Okay.
Because in supermarkets...
Just the guy with the rooster. Okay.
Yeah, because in supermarkets, most farmers want the females, and they keep the females away from the males, because there has to be like 0% chance that a male has spunked in the egg. Because imagine the outbreak.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, imagine the outbreak of if you cracked your fucking egg into a frying pan and there's a fucking chick embryo.
Oh, more protein!
Yeah, Graham. Did you see that YouTuber who did that with quail eggs?
Yeah, I was just about to say quail. Yeah, because in America you can buy quail eggs, and a lot of them are already fertile, aren't they?
It's not just the US, it's the UK.
The UK as well with quail eggs.
You got 300 eggs and I think 150.
So is it just chickens that mainly have infertile eggs, or is it?
Because the farmers have more of the quails are like a rare thing. People don't breed quails the same because people don't buy the meat or the eggs. Not like chickens, which sell millions a day. So they're a lot more cautious, because if they fuck up once, that's them out of a business. That supermarket chain is not going to use them again.
Well,
they don't want it on
I wouldn't need the excuse of having hunting your own meat or whatever. All I'd have to need is just, if I can't get hold of corn or tofu, I'll just go back to eating meat, me.
Do you reckon you could hunt then, if you had to?
Yeah, I could hunt. Well, not easy. I'd have to learn. But yeah, I'd hunt.
Could you hunt anything, or would you be biased, like you'd kill a pheasant but you couldn't kill a rabbit?
Kill any animal.
Fair enough.
Kill whatever. It's just that the way of life that I live now, I don't have to hunt, so I'm not going to. But let's say I didn't have all this access to have like tofu and corn mince and all that sort of stuff, then I would hunt me animal. Well, I would eat meat because it's more accessible.
I'd be on beans, nuts and pulses, mate.
I can't wait in the future where it's just like in Star Trek, and you just get like a drink of water and it's got everything in it. It's like, sculp it down.
Be interesting, you know.
All my nutrition just like that.
See, I don't like the idea of that.
Shit it out.
Because some things are too nice, like sweets.
Yeah, but then it's a treat then, isn't it?
Yeah, but it might just make you ill because you're used to liquid diet.
Yeah, but it's not about the future.
Yeah,
but this is the future, anyway. But that's what they say about like gluten and stuff like that. I would say gluten tolerance. Now people have an intolerance and like lactose and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, but anyway, next law anyway.
Yeah, remind me to come back to that in another podcast, because I read a book by Tim Spector. I highly recommend it. I can't remember the name of the book, I just remember the author. I think it's brilliant. It's the only nutritionalist I'll ever listen to. And most people think they have like an intolerance to gluten and wheat and things, but it's bullshit, and there's like less than 10% of the whole world that does. You just think that you do, because if you did have a genuine allergy to it, you would have to, you'd have to go to hospital, you'd have to be put on meds. Having the shits from it doesn't mean you're intolerant. And getting bloated, it doesn't mean you're intolerant. It could just be that you're mixing it with something that's reacting. It doesn't mean you're intolerant. People just think they are. In this woke culture where everything needs to be gluten-free and wheat-free. I know you have had issues in the past, which is why you do it, but you've cut out loads of stuff, not just that. So.
If I don't need it, I won't eat it.
Yeah.
Unless it's a little treat.
We'll get a vegan on the poddy one day, and I will ask them if they will eat lab-grown meat that hasn't had no animals been killed. It's been grown in a lab.
I just won't eat anything I don't need to eat. Simple as that. Just
Which is
keep
fair
the diet
enough.
as clean as possible.
But you're a very open-minded vegan. I'd like to know. You don't do it for the animals, but I'd like to know a vegan that does it for the animals.
Yeah.
Whether they would eat lab-grown meat.
And
That
should
have no
that
animals
be
death.
illegal?
It's
Is
been
that immoral?
Fuck it. We have mass production of everything else. Why not take a burger and clone it?
Yeah.
But then it'd be no cows. Great areas.
Okay, next one.
Anyway, moving on. It's illegal to block a road during a protest now. It's a new one, this.
Yeah, so, okay, because there was that thing ages ago where people were like, what was the phrase they kept saying? No, what's it called? If you can't protest, you get riots or something. That's what that was the chant, but...
Well, it all comes down to freedom of speech, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
The right people.
But I think it's like you're not allowed to disrupt the public. But it's like ex-rebellion, whatever they're called.
Extinction
Rebellion. Like fair enough, you're gonna protest, but don't stand on a fucking train. And don't fucking
the train thing.
And don't disrupt the roads, and don't throw the no stop oil and all that sort of stuff. Like throw. Those stupid people throwing the stuff at the paintings and all that, man. Like, nah, it's like you're the only people you are disrupting is the general public. That's not gonna help it. It's like the whole. I'm gonna digress a bit here, but like it's like Greta Thunberg. Like she's only protesting in America and the UK and places like that. But okay, then what has the most impact on the environment in general? Why don't you go to India and go to a proper public place, not a protected middle part of the city where you've got a whole PR team and everything around you. Yeah,
but she needs that, doesn't she? Because she's like
but then try and do that in China. Try and do that where it's even more pollution than anywhere in the world. Greta Thunberg going to China and doing that. She has not done that.
I don't know if there's a way to get to China other than by plane because she's that.
She gets planes anywhere.
No, she doesn't.
Google it.
I will.
Has she got
only
jets?
goes by. No, she only goes by. That's why it takes her so long to get places, and she rarely goes places.
Google it.
I will. But honestly, I stand with Greta. Love her. Think she's brilliant.
Right.
And she has done it for 5 years. Every Friday for the last 5 years, she's protested. She started the whole school strikes for climate change movement, didn't she?
And what has that done other than just promote it?
She's raised loads of awareness. There's loads of people who do that.
Just awareness, what she actually
Yeah, but that is the point, isn't it? And she has done a lot because she's doing her bit. It's like saying, every protester is trying to do their bit, aren't they? They're not just doing it for fun because they're getting arrested and stuff. And I was at I was one of those protesters in 2019, and when that guy got on the train, that was a small part, because we were all in regions, like I was with the Stoke group, that was a small part. They decided to do that, they were advised not to, and they did it anyway. Yeah. That wasn't the whole of Extinction Rebellion, that wasn't
What do you think of when they're on the roads though and disrupting the general public from driving? I think that's wrong in general.
Sorry, go on, carry on.
But I think you shouldn't disrupt roads. I understand a riot is not a riot, a protest is to cause disruption, so you got attention. But when it affects the general public and it doesn't affect other people, it's not. I don't know. It's not right. But then you could say striking with Royal Mail and things like that, and that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Puts a halt so that people have to do something about it.
What it is if
Go on.
If you think of like the average Joe and they're being stopped from going to work, that's really annoying for them. Yeah. Yes, but the reason they're doing that is because that average Joe works for a big corporation who's polluting the world, and that is why they do it. Right,
if you were on your way to work in Extinction Rebellion, you weren't letting you get past the fucking crossroads, tell me you won't be beeping your horn saying, fucking move.
Well, for me, it's like a great story. I'll just be there working. So for me personally, it wouldn't be too much of an issue. A lot of people obviously work from home now, so
yes, you're on your way to work in general.
I think for work, I couldn't give a shit, but for the ambulances and police, unless they're going to arrest protesters, if they're going to something else like if someone's been stabbed or something, then yeah, I don't agree with it for those reasons, and people should move if they see them sirens and fire engines, but generally,
let's say I'm driving my car in the future and there's a big protest in the middle, in the middle of the street, and people aren't moving off the road. Do I have the right to say?
But usually they give warnings, like a 2-week warning that they're going to do it, so it's not like totally spontaneous.
Because I've seen people where people get out the fucking car and fucking
drag
them off. We
blocked off the whole of London in 2019. Every road was blocked. We had tents on the road for almost 2 weeks.
So if it's like organised, that redirected, that sort of thing. But if
you know there's going to be protesters, just stay up to date, follow the movement, support
So
it.
I guess the wrong sort of protest is when it's something that's not unorganised, something too spontaneous.
Yeah, like I agree with you. The Just Stop Oil protesters throwing stuff on paintings and destroying things. I don't agree with that. And an oil painting. It's fucking ancient, like back in times. The pool one, I didn't get that, but then I did the research, and that was because the apparently the wax or whatever, the resin, whatever it is on the balls and snooker and pool, that contains this oil.
Yeah.
So that's why they did it, because they think, why the fuck was they going to this pool tournament or whatever? But no, I don't like stuff like that, and I also don't like the animal protesters who chuck fake blood on themselves and like, dying animals, like
pretend to be sheep running around.
Like go to a third world country, and then you'll change your whole perspective because
why people do.
You're gonna eat meat, like it's almost unavoidable because they're not going to get the protein otherwise.
And then the thing with what the people use, I think it's the aim of the general public using stuff. I think sometimes it can seem like you're attacking the normal people. That's how it seems like with Greta Thunberg. It seems like she's saying it to like the wrong sort of people.
Well,
I don't know.
She says it to everyone, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think it's more.
I
think it's sort of like an overview that Greta Thunberg sort of does. And that's probably why it seems bad, like not bad, but like it seems like, what the fuck, like that's a bit unfair to sort of blanket term everything. But I guess it's a lot easier to say it in a general sense than be specific.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I don't think Greta Thunberg's made the same effect for me personally. I don't think she's... It just, I just see it and I see like, well, what have you done? Like, I just think of it like that.
It's raising awareness, but that is the point, because no one individual can change the world. They have to raise awareness and start a movement to make everybody else join
knows.
in. Yeah, but she has been like, what's the word? What they didn't want Bin Laden to be, so they fucking chucked his body in the ocean so he couldn't be found or whatever it was. A martyr. She's like a martyr for
Did you know there's something called the Lone Star tick? Right, and apparently when you get bit by it, what it does is it makes you allergic to digesting red meat. So if you want to make a fucking impact and infect the whole world of Lone Star ticks, and then no one can eat red meat.
I'm having my lamb dinner and beef burgers.
I think that's more of a lean meat, Yaz.
Is it a red meat?
I don't know. I think like cow. I'm not sure.
That means that Muslims would only really be allowed to eat chicken and fish if that happens. They can't eat pork.
And so wait, so
I
are
think
they allowed
Jews
to eat
can't eat
cow, though, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, so red meat though, so if they had the Lone Star tick and they were
Yeah.
allergic, they'd be fucked.
Just chicken, innit? Just
Chicken and fish, yeah.
Just
So.
halal chicken, innit? Next one, innit?
Well,
Sorry.
with the,
with the Greta Thunberg, yeah.
Various places around the world, others soon joined Greta's protests, and she started giving speeches to various assemblies of government leaders. However, she's renounced at least one award. That's fair play. She hasn't accepted the award. She's renounced it. And numerous speaking invitations to reduce her own carbon footprint. Thunberg does not fly except for emergency cases.
So where that rumour come from? Because that's what I heard.
It's a rumour, mate.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Yeah.
The internet spreading fake news again. Yeah, honestly, she doesn't. She spends weeks and months travelling around on planes and fucking boats.
Well, on boats, you mean, rather
Yeah.
than planes, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, what's the next one then?
The next one, my friend, is you can't handle a salmon under suspicious circumstances, which basically means
if you've stolen it,
if you fished it illegally,
fished it illegally, that's it. Yeah.
And that is quite recent, you know. That's not even
Is it?
40 years old. 1986 that came into play. My mum was 13 then.
What happened around 1986 where they had to mention salmon specifically?
I don't know. Fucking weird one. Imagine if you just went to a supermarket, you bought a fish, and you didn't want to pay 20p for a bag. So you're there in the streets, just awkward because you're holding a big salmon, and then you get arrested.
That's what trench
as
coats
well.
are for, with long pockets, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, imagine that. You get arrested and your fish is, you're like, I spent 40 quid on that. I couldn't afford the bag. Assault.
Fucking walking around the street with a wet fish.
Oh, good weapon though.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about a couple of things that we think should be made law that currently isn't.
Yes. Okay.
So first of all, we've written here, politicians should be sacked and punished for lying. For example, Boris Johnson's misleading £350 million a week going to the NHS during his Brexit campaign. Because even though he didn't directly say it or directly print it on the bus, he did mislead.
It was.
He implied though.
We spend £350 million
a week.
A week
to Europe or something.
Get the picture up. Read the quote, because that's something that everyone will be able to remember.
Yeah, but he never directly said it. That's the issue. He just implied that by leaving Europe, we'd save £350 million a week, which
let's
would go
fund
into
the
NHS
instead. That it says instead.
I don't.
No, get the picture up. Yes, get the picture up. I did it as a big art project and a massive banner.
I know, but he implied.
It's lying, misleading, the same fucking thing, right?
We send the EU £350 million a week. Let's fund our NHS instead.
I don't get how
He never said, let's give that money to the NHS
Yeah,
instead.
let's fund the NHS. Yeah, that's the same thing.
But he never said, let's give that money. It's like putting two separate things together. Let's think of an example like me saying, 10 billion cows get slaughtered a day. Let's save the milk. It's like saying
maybe.
It's not quite the same. What I'm trying to say is saying one thing like, oh, we spend this, let's fund this, but he's not saying let's use that money to fund this.
Yeah, it was still misleading.
It's misleading as fuck.
That should be illegal. That should be illegal.
I agree with you. It should, and that's how they sort of didn't get done for lying, because he never said he was going to give that 350 million to the NHS. He just implied that he was going to. So he didn't lie, but he misled.
Well, that was one of the things because that was one of the big misleading things for me. I voted Brexit, but I also voted Labour. because I just wanted a self-sufficient country and for all of us to thrive. Like, and I was thinking that's a lot, and the NHS is the biggest staple of this country. Once we get rid of free healthcare, what makes our country special compared to everywhere else? It's nothing. It's just the same. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're a lot more richer than everywhere else, like than a lot of countries. But in the sense that that's our like big pride is the NHS. Do you know what I mean? So without the NHS, I don't know, that's a big downfall, and I feel like the £350 million being funded every week, that would help so much. And that's why I voted, because I was like, well, we're going to be a sovereign country, we won't be spending everything on foreign aid and all that sort of stuff, and we'll be more for the people that actually need it here. But none of that ended up happening anyway. Brexit dragged on for ages, and it was wrong. It was wrong, and people should at least get fired for that. They should be making clear, direct promises with at least a loose sort of plan and an end date. And if they don't fulfill that, they should be kicked out of office and not given their retirement. I feel like that's the at least. You know what I mean? Like people, like you can be prime minister for what, like a month. And then you got a retirement of 100k or something silly like that for every year for the rest of your life. Like, that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
like, I'm probably...
fucking Liz Truss absolutely nailed that one.
Oh, God, yeah!
6 weeks on the job, mate, and now she's rich for life.
Let's Google it. How much does she get? Is it called pension? So how much is
It's not a pension.
It is. It is. Yeah. So
she's not retired, she just
retired
down.
from being Prime Minister. You get a pension scheme, so what is a pension scheme?
Shall I put how much does Liz Truss get in 2024?
From well, I don't know where exactly, but yeah. From pension, she can just choose to retire now, so how much would she get?
Oh, apparently she doesn't get an ex-PM pension of 125,000.
So it's 125,000. How long do you have to be a Prime Minister? Is it the full term then?
Yeah, apparently.
What's a full term? 4 years?
I'm not.
What does it say?
I don't know, because different things are saying different things.
Well, what's the top?
BBC said there's calls for her not to take the early 115,000 as an ex-Prime Minister. And Sir Keir Starmer sort of started that.
So what?
Apparently between October 22 and March 23 she claimed £23,310. So I think you can just claim on an allowance rather than getting a pay. She had severance pay when she left, which apparently was £18,860.
Oh.
Which was equivalent to £419.11 for each day she served.
How much for each day?
£419.11.
Wow.
Get more on crypto!
Okay, that's not as shocking as I thought it would be.
Yeah, same. I thought it was a lot worse, to be honest, so...
I'm glad you Googled that.
Yeah. Fucking Trussy needing the trust fund soon. Fresh out of cash.
Yeah, what's the next one then?
So we'll go on. So I think there should be CCTV everywhere in hospitals other than in toilets and showers. And I know people are going to be thinking, why the fuck would you want that? People are ill, some people are dying, they deserve the right to privacy. I know how many people die in hospitals from neglect, because I sit in inquests and often report on them.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, it's shocking, the lack of communication between departments, the lack of care. Maybe it's because nurses aren't paid enough, they couldn't give a shit about the patients.
I don't think it's that thing, it's probably overworked, and you've got certain time per patient and stuff like that, which is goes back to the funding. Yeah, and they don't pass
the files on now. So when you know how there's like day staff, night staff.
But there is a lot of people that do work hard in the NHS. It's just I guess it is probably a small percentage of these things happening. But if there was CCTV everywhere, then it'd be an even smaller percentage.
Yeah.
And weren't you saying about the repercussions? I think we do
Well, I know this year alone, I've been to 3
Yeah.
or 4 inquests within a 3-month period.
related with neglect and.
That's just at the Royal Stoke Hospital, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People dying usually of sepsis because an operation's gone wrong. Lee Frost was a 31-year-old nurse at the hospital, and she was neglected by her colleagues. She was left there in her own piss and shit, and no one batted an eyelid, no one cared. She even told her mum, texted her saying, I'm going to die in here. Nothing was done, and guess what? She died a 31-year-old, leaving behind a two-year-old son.
Because of the neglect.
Because of the neglect.
Yeah.
And lack of communications between the doctors, surgeons,
what
nurses.
happened to the doctors and nurses though?
Nothing.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
They've learned a lesson, and they're training staff now to make sure they communicate properly. And when I'm not sure if it's when someone has sepsis or something along those lines, it's now classed as critical instead of urgent.
So do you think if there was CCTV, it'd be evidence of you'd have to fire them?
You'd have to fire them, and you'd have to go to prison because it's manslaughter at the end of the day. You've accidentally killed someone.
Yeah.
You have accidentally killed someone. If I went
so was the blame not on a specific person? Was it as an overall team thing?
And it's just the most minor form of neglect. Because there's neglect, there's negligence, and then there's gross negligence. Neglect is the bottom of the pile. Gross negligence is the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I think that was a personal opinion. Gross negligence, but obviously they all stick up for their own government bodies, so neglect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's someone's daughter, someone's wife, someone's mum. 31 years old, dead, and shouldn't have been. And she's not the only one. It's just the fact that she was a nurse there. You'd think her colleagues would do everything they could, but it just shows you that no one's safe, and it's proper put me off the NHS, to be honest. The amount of people who die in hospital care is disgusting. It really put me off. I'd rather try and pay private.
Would you say for the most part, a lot of people do try though? Working there.
I don't know. That's why we need the CCTV, innit?
Yeah. I don't know. The NHS helped me. They fixed me nose, but I was on a
but you were
waiting
in and
list.
out in a day.
And I was on a waiting list for 3, 4 maybe years.
And mate, can you remember? I went to the doctors 2 months before you. I was seen literally 2 weeks before we went into lockdown before COVID.
Yeah.
You've literally had to wait till 2023.
Well, I was on a waiting list for 2 years, and then COVID happened, and then I had to wait another 2 years.
Disgusting.
And then, so I think it was a year and a half, something beforehand. But in total it's 3.5, 4 years,
Yeah. I mean, I've always been lucky. Well, no, we haven't. When I had a problem in Thailand that I had to have surgery for, came back to the UK, and the NHS didn't want to know because I'd already had to have surgery in Thailand. So I was literally had a hole that was 6 centimetres deep in my leg, 2 centimetres wide.
6 centimetres.
That's about 6 centimetres.
What the fuck, yes? That's 6... No, wait.
That's 1 centimetre, 2 centimetres,
that's
3 centimetre, 4 centimetre, 5 centimetre.
What the
6
fuck?
centimetres.
That's inches? What the fuck? That's
no, 6 inches is like this.
Yes, that's 6 that's
inches.
6.5 inches.
Yeah.
Right? That's 6.5 inches. You were doing right, okay, where's the fucking, is there a ruler somewhere?
Of course there's not a ruler. Whenever you last used a ruler, I think there's one on the iPad. To be fair, how accurate it is, who knows, but...
Last time I used a ruler,
I don't think this is going to work.
What do you mean centimetre?
I'm just trying to see if anything works, but I can't get further enough away. No, genuinely, I think that's about... Come on, then.
That's 6.7, maybe 6.5 inches. And so 5 this is 2 centimetres in my ear. So
that's 6
5
centimetres.
5 centimetres is probably that. That is not 6 centimetres. That's crazy.
According to this
Yaz.
is, but now I've moved my hand away.
Yaz, that's crazy. That is crazy. Like, this is 20 centimetres. So
no, it isn't. That's 20
I mean,
mil.
this is 2 centimetres. I mean, this is 2 centimetres. So,
Yeah.
So 2 centimetres.
4, 6.
You were doing that?
Yeah.
That's fucking, that's like fucking, that. That's like 5.
That's 2.
Yeah, that's 5.
That's 4.
that's-
so it might even be slightly bigger than that.
That's what, 10?
Anyway, I had a 6 centimetre fuck. If the audience wants to measure 6 centimetres so they know how deep my hole is, that's fine.
Me always.
But anyway, all I know is I had to have my leg like this in my kitchen, packing a 6 centimetre hole. How gross is that packing?
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah. I mean, fucking kitchen table where my family have got to eat. I'm there doing a fucking nurse's job because they don't want to know because I had to have the operation in Thailand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. So, and then I had the issue of having that basically, it mustn't have been removed properly and was travelling around my body for 2 years. They didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Didn't give a fuck.
How
I
did you
was
get
crying.
that?
They put me on antibiotics for almost 4 years non-stop, so they don't work for me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fucked me up. Yeah, and I just don't trust them anymore. Like, the shit. No offence, respect to all the workers individually, but as a whole, the NHS are a bag of wank.
Yeah. You get on Bupa.
Yeah, Bupa healthcare, mate.
Bupa healthcare.
Get that private in.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think, would I rather a cheaper house and pay for my medical care? Probably, yeah.
Terry's house for going to the doctors whenever we want.
Well, they're pointless anyway. I spent 30 quid on the dentist for him to look at my mouth and go, you need antibiotics, for me to say, no I don't. Give me the prescription, never picked it up, I'm sound now.
I went to the NHS dentist, I think it was NHS, no, I forgot how it works.
You have to pay with the NHS dentist, that's what I mean.
Oh yeah, so it would have been, it would have been an NHS dentist then, yeah. For them to just fucking spike my mouth, and then my mouth was full of blood, and then they were just going, get the little straw thing.
And does that hurt?
Does that hurt? Yes, it fucking hurts.
They don't even offer a polish and scale anymore, and you have to pay extra. That's the only reason I used to go to the dentist. I know that my teeth are sound.
Yeah, it's... The day that I think the day that healthcare becomes fully privatised is the day that weed becomes, or cannabis, it becomes fully legalised. I feel like that'll be the flip.
And it's gonna cost bare.
Yeah. But
anyway.
Yeah, but what's the last one anyway?
Yeah. So just a reminder, so people know what we're on about. We weren't just complaining about the NHS. We were saying, for the cases where people are dying, that's why there should be CCTV
everywhere, other than the bathrooms,
in
other
the
than
operation.
the toilets. There should definitely be in the theatre. Yeah, because
100%.
I guarantee there'd be less mistakes.
And going off slight tangent, can you remember that Irish dentist who was putting his patients under women and raping them?
What the fuck? What?
True.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, so there should be.
Well, in Ireland?
Yeah. Should be CCTV everywhere.
Okay.
And yeah.
I was coughing up a bit wet.
My throat was a bit sore.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder why it's a nose and throat department. I was like,
ENT. So yeah, final one.
Yeah.
Before we wrap it up. I'm pretty sure we both agree on this, that there should be a legal age to be on social media.
Yeah, so I would compromise on this point. Like, instinctively, I'd be like, well, 18, you should be the same as, like, how you'd do a betting. So you should do IT, not IT, how you do ID on, like, a betting sort of thing. It should...
What, like in a betting shop or on a website?
I'm not sure it works properly, but...
I don't think it's that secure on a website and on an app.
Yeah, but don't you know, but you need to be 18 anyway, because your bank your bank card would have your age applied to it. No, because you have to be 16 to have a bank card, don't you?
No.
How old do you have to be?
12 or younger.
I was 16 when I went into Lloyd's.
I was 12 when I got
back
mine.
in the day.
I was 12 when I got mine.
So, how's it... okay, that's a bit of an odd one.
And I think my brother was like 9 when he got his, actually. I don't know if there is a legal
Well,
age on having a card. Your account.
Could you get away with being 16 and doing betting online? I don't think you could. Can you get away with it? How easy
you only have
would
to
it
be 16.
No, you have to be 18 to gamble.
Is it just lottery tickets? You have to be 16.
No, Google it. I'm trying to remember the process. I don't think
I know you can buy a lottery ticket. I've
only done roulette on like online gambling on my mate's phone. And I just let him do it. Just sent him a tenner. But on a slight tangent, I tried to do the roulette wheel. You get 32 chances and then 0 whatever. So I put a tenner in, split it out, divided that by 40, made all my bets, and it was still random and I didn't win. And I said to myself, right, there's no way of figuring out, it's completely random, I'm not doing it again. It's not worth it. But I don't know the process of actually going on to gambling. I imagine it being harder to prove. What does it say?
So it says you should be 18 and over, but young people from 16 can legally purchase national lottery products, including draw-based games, scratch cards.
Yeah, but what's the process to prove the age?
I've done this with like the national horse racing. Literally, you download the app. It goes, I confirm I am over 18.
Oh, okay.
Click. There's nothing. You don't have to put your driver's license on or your passport.
I think a lot of those things should change, whether it's this is kind of connected with it, but I think it should be with porn, I think it should be with gambling, I think it should be social media, anywhere where I think it can be addictive or you can corrupt in some sort of way or whatever it is. I think there should be an age limit and a proof of identification to access these things, because one, it would stop bots and it would actually be more of a cleaner place. There'd be less cyberbullying and all that sort of stuff. That it'd be more legitimate, so everything would be straightforward. You can't go on there, you can't troll, you can't hide behind an identity. What you are showing is you know what I mean? And I think, like, in the public, like, people say the worst shit imaginable that they would say online, but they wouldn't dare say it to someone's face. But if it was more linked to your actual you shut down your Facebook, and then you open up a Facebook, you won't be able to because it's connected with that. You know what I mean? It'd be a lot. I think, you'd be more restricted, I guess you could say, in certain areas, but I think it'd be a lot better in total. And I feel like you shouldn't be on social media at that age anyway. It's an addictive.
You're vulnerable, aren't
You're vulnerable and it's addictive. I know you could say that with games and stuff like that, but then you've got a parent that should be monitoring that.
You're not comparing yourself to a game. People aren't looking at a game and saying, I wish I was there, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
When we played GTA, even in the best fucking houses, we weren't like, I wish I could steal that car.
Yeah.
I could go there.
Yeah. The comparison is the thief of joy. Yeah. And I feel like, you can compare yourself and inspire yourself when you're young and that.
And kids are impressionable. And
and there's certain trends and stuff, but I don't know, I feel like it should be, or let's say you're a young person, you've got like an idea and that, it should at least be governed by someone. Like, you can start your own business, but doesn't have to be someone of a certain age to run it with you or something.
No, I think you can do it, but obviously you would seek help.
Yeah. There should be some sort of assistance or some sort of like accompanied with, or at least compromise in some sort of area. Like, I don't feel like you should.
If you're under 18 and you set up a business, and it goes bankrupt because you're under 18, they can't take everything away from you. They can only take the assets inside the business.
No way.
They can't prosecute. So that is the saving grace in a way of setting one up really young. But once you're 18, you hold that responsibility. Yeah. Sal Benito got away with it because he had a shop, didn't he?
No way.
16.
Yeah.
So, mobile phone.
So what do you think the compromise should be then?
Well, I just think it should be 16 minimum for social media. Funny enough, did you know until 2 to 3 years ago the legal age to get fill was 13? Now they've raised it to 16. That's what I mean, man. It's fucked. It's so fucked.
I guess because it kind of links in with the cosmetics and stuff like that, doesn't it? Like, I guess you can have your baby's ears pierced and things like that. So, but then again, that's still assistance from parental permission.
It's parental permission still.
Yeah. So yeah, but
some parents
yeah,
don't care,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but even if you did care, like, oh, I don't want you on social media, what can they actually do about it? Let's say if Maisie, when she's like 10, and she wanted to get social media, I can't stop it. There's no way that I'd be able to stop
But
her.
if she had to have a passport
or a
provisional driving license,
then she has to have my permission and stuff like that. Exactly.
No,
what?
Just you can't have it. You've got to be that age. You've got to scan a passport. An official document to get social media.
Well, I thought you meant. Okay, don't worry.
No, because some parents are irresponsible. They'll just give the 2-year-old fucking social media. People set up social media accounts for the newborn babies and shit. I think that's fucked up. Yeah, it's weird, but people do it.
Yeah.
No, if you had to upload,
but with all the other things that kids can do, they need parental permission or guidance and that. Whereas social media, there is nothing in place for that.
It would protect them. That's the thing. It would protect them, and they would have happier, more wholesome lives if they didn't have social media, in my opinion. And I've actually done social media investigation years ago. So anyone watching this on YouTube, if you scroll through my channel at the Yaz Talks, you'll find old videos where I interviewed my sister, who was 12 or 13 at the time, and my stepsister, who I believe was 19 at the time. And both of them, even though my stepsister had, thousands of followers on Instagram, she's still worried about her future, because when you get older and irrelevant, the depression that will sink in and insecurity is unbelievable, because you've gone through your teenage years getting all this clout, and one day that's going to stop. Not everyone's Kim K. So
yeah. Well, that's fair enough. Right. Well, we've gone through all the things, all the laws that we
have indeed
found and things we changed, and I think that's it for this one.
Exactly. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What laws you think, which ones you think are shit, and what you think should be law in UK. Sounded dead illiterate, that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you're watching on Spotify, give us a 5-star review right now so we get some money. Bye.